Hello, everyone. I'm TG Campbell, author of the Bow Street Society series, and welcome to the next episode of In Conversation with. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Val Penny here today. Would you like to tell our viewers a bit more about yourself?
Hi, Danny. It's lovely to see you. Yes, I am Val Penny. Despite my accent, I'm an American author. I live in the southwest of Scotland and I write the D.I. Hunter Wilson crime thrillers and the Jane Renwick thrillers. And I just love crime in a fictional sense, of course.
You're not out there committing robberies in the weekend then.
No, no, not this weekend anyway.
Not that anybody knows about.
Mm.
As I say, you are known for writing the Dear Hunter Wilson series, the first of which I read, which was Hunter's Chase, which was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. So I
Good.
found Dear Hunter himself very relatable, very down, sort of very grounded. So is he based upon anybody in particular, or sort of a mishmash of people, or how did you come up with the character of Hunter Wilson?
The um the character is probably a mishmash of people. He is meant to be my true North Star in that I always know how Hunter will react
Yeah.
and how is always he always tries to do the right thing. His he's a son of the manse, and
Mm.
up in Scotland, what that means is that his father was a church minister.
Right.
And I think, although he himself isn't seen to have particularly strong religious views necessarily, he is certainly guided by the principles that his father would have taught him.
Yeah, he definitely comes across as somebody who has got his own sort of code of honor and which very much sort of lives by that code. I love the fact
Yes,
also that he's a darts fan and he likes playing darts in the pub.
he does. He does. He likes being part of a team.
Yeah,
And so he's a team with his colleagues in the police force, and he's a member of the darts team.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I love that. I was like, oh, a fellow dart fan. I love the darts. And so, in what I noticed really in Hunter's Chase was the narrative does switch viewpoint throughout the book, which definitely does sort of add more weight to the story. Especially there's a bit. I'm not going to sort of go too much into detail because I don't want to spoilers, but there is a particular female character who you have her point of view, which is quite harrowing at times. And was there a
Yeah.
particular reason why you decided to do sort of that sort of switch between the viewpoints rather than just having it purely from D.I. Hunter Wilson's viewpoint?
I think when you're doing a book purely from one point of view, it narrows what the reader can see.
Yeah,
And if the different parts of the story are told either by an omnipotent narrator or alternatively by different characters in the book, it gives the reader a wider viewpoint. The young female character that you're talking about often speaks in the first person,
mm.
as opposed to the reader seeing things from the third person point of view, as they do with many of the other characters.
Yeah,
And I think that gives more of an immediacy.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you definitely felt like you were sort of living those moments with her, which
Mm,
you definitely put yourself in that position, and it's quite when you think about that, it's quite sort of heartbreaking, really, with the circumstances of the
mm,
book and
mm.
her herself. That's one thing I really did enjoy about the book is that you do get to sort of switch between those different characters, and you get those different perspectives and how of course that you don't quite know always how where it's going to go and what sort of twist is going to happen. So I really enjoyed that part of it. So you've also
Glad.
written. You're welcome. So you also written the DS Jane Renwick series, the second of which is a fighting chance that you'll be doing a reading from us today. She was actually she appeared in the D.I. Hunter Wilson series, didn't she, as well? So what made you decide to give her her own series?
I really liked Jane. I decided that um, I needed a second series of books, partly for my own entertainment. But Jane has an interesting backstory, which readers can read about in the first cut. And I wanted to develop that, and it wasn't appropriate to develop it in a hunter's book. But I really liked her, and I liked her character, and I liked her differences. Uh, she she is married. She has a wife. Hunter's divorced.
Yeah,
He's dating someone, and I just liked the differences. But again, she has developed a strong personality and a strong way of doing things,
yeah.
her own way of doing things, and so that I liked, and I decided she was. It was relevant to give her a series of her own.
Yeah, because there's quite a few characters in the Hunter Wars series which could have actually quite easily had their own sort of spin-off. But I think it's interesting that
Yes,
you picked her in particular. And like I said, with Hunter himself, I love the fact that he one of the evenings he goes home to clean his flat and he's literally just hoovering and cleaning and tidying up. I'm thinking that's just something that everybody does, you know. And you think, oh, I want to impress somebody, I'm going to quickly tidy the flat, you know. And it's these sort of
yes. I think also a fellow living on their own, they often don't perhaps tidy up as often as they might. And
yeah.
so when Hunter had his date coming round, yes, he needed to get it spick and span for her.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I live on my own and I can be guilty of actually just not necessarily tidying up after myself. And because it's like, that's me here. And if somebody says, I'm going to come, I'm like, like quick, speed tidy.
Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, speed, you're half an hour, speed clean. And everything just goes like in the bedroom, shut the door, you're not allowed in there. No, no, just ignore that room exists. That's the wall there, just walk past into the living room. Yeah, it says, you know, but also I quite like the fact with the different characters that you didn't like, they weren't in a box. Like, even though they're like police officer characters, they all had flaws and they all had their own problems. So you weren't just, oh, because they're police officers, they're like untouchable or they're sort of like, they're infallible, you know. So I really like that
Yes.
aspect of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly nobody is infallible, at least nobody I've met yet.
no, yeah. And if they are, then what's their secret?
Exactly.
So other than D.R. Wilson and DS Renwick, have you got any other characters that you might want to do another series of, or anybody that you'd like to do a standalone of, or in your
I
books?
my favorite character in all the books is Jamie Thompson.
Yeah,
And Jamie is a very bad thief.
yeah,
He's really just not very good at it.
no, it's quite
And
sweet though as well.
he is sweet. And I think because of that, he may well be the star of his own story at some point or another.
Yeah, how not to be a thief? Yeah,
It's how not to be a thief, exactly.
yeah, because basically when he first started, he's like, oh yeah, I've got the gloves, I've got the gear, I've got this, and then it's like it goes completely wrong for him, and you're like, oh.
Yes.
So you're going to be doing a reading for us from Fighting Chance, which is the first in the Jane Renwick, sorry, series. So do you want to do that for us?
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. I've taken the reading from chapter 34, and Jane has just been attacked
Ooh,
outside a pub.
yeah.
And this is the bit that happens next.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh, I've never been asked for Angela before, the man behind the bar said. Jane noticed his badge read Robert, happy to help. You know that's a code for an emergency. Just then Squires stormed into the bar. Where is she? He shouted. That's my emergency, Jane told Robert. Then Squires caught sight of Jane. There you are, you bitch. You nearly scrunched my nuts, copper. Come here and I'll bash your head in. Ooh, this is an emergency, Robert said. He pressed the button under the bar to alert the local constabulary. That's a thought, but I don't think so. Thanks, Squires. Jane vaulted over the bar. That was impressive, Robert said. I like to keep fit. I hope he can't do that. Robert nodded to Squires. Are you police? Robert asked Jane. If so, I think you should call for backup. or whatever it is you do. I've pressed the button, but he looks too hot for me to handle. I'll give you too hot to handle, arsehole, Squires growled at the man. Let me through. I'm not meant to do that. Just let me at her. By now, customers in the bar were all aware of the turmoil at the counter. Jane noticed that every one of them had pulled out their phones. Some were filming. She guessed the emergency services switchboard would light up like a Christmas tree and presumed the locals at the station had not had such an exciting afternoon for a long time. To be on the safe side, Jane speed dialed Regina. Boss, cross peels, Squires, now. She left her phone on so that Regina could hear what was happening.
Thank you very much. It's amazing, like as you say in the extract, how people in that kind of situation wouldn't think, oh, we better flee or help. We're going to get our phones out and start filming. Oh, it's good for TikTok. Unfortunately, that is people's response now, isn't it? Unfortunately, in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Robert, bless him. He seemed a bit over his head in that.
I think he was, yes.
So both the D.I. Hunter Wilson and DS Jane Renwick series are set in Scotland. So why did you choose Scotland in particular to set those books in?
Well, originally, when I started writing, I thought about creating a place a bit like Peter Robinson did with his D.I. Banks series. But then I thought, well, Edinburgh, which is where the Hunter Wilson series is set, has everything I need.
Yeah.
And then I thought, with the Jane Renwick series, I think what I might do is move her around Scotland, and that way maybe I can have a tax-deductible holiday for it.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
But it's like, I suppose it's like a bit like when things are set in London all the time. It's a bit like, oh, but it's nice to actually move around and actually explore sort of other places that people might not necessarily be so familiar with, and obviously having it in that fictional sort of setting allows you to do that. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, the Fighting Chance is set in Stirling, and the First Cut, which is the other Jane Renwick book, is set in Edinburgh and Glasgow.
So you're quite familiar with those particular areas yourself, are you? Sort of.
Yes. I lived in Edinburgh for a long time, and I know it quite well. It's also quite a small city, so you can get round it quite quickly, and everybody knows everybody else.
Yeah.
I have to say that's both an advantage and a disadvantage,
but
it's the way it is.
Edinburgh's one of those places that I know everybody I know has been there, and I've still not managed to get up there yet. Every time I've tried to plan to go up there, it's just the plans have fallen through. So it's still on my to visit list, but I will get there one day.
Absolutely. Well, let me know when you do.
Oh yeah, I will do. So as part of In Conversation, we always have a quiz, true or false quiz. So just in keeping with our discussions about Scotland and crime fiction, this is true or false. So Scottish detectives in crime fiction and their authors.
Okay, let's see how I do.
So it's best. So it's 8 questions. So all true or false. Okay, so hopefully we'll start off reasonably easy. So question 1: D.I. John Rebus is the creation of Ian Rankin. True or false?
That is true.
It is true.
I ought to know that because Ian Rankin's a family friend.
Oh, good. Okay, question 2. DCI Karen Pirie, I'm going to pronounce that or not, is the creation of R.D. Ringwright. True or false?
That's false. She's false. A creation of Val McDermott.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I'll give you a bonus point for that.
Wow. I might need it later.
Question 3. Inspector Jimmy Perez, who features in the Shetland series, is the creation of Anne Cleves. True or false?
That's correct.
That is true, yeah. We're doing really well so far. We might do a clean sweep. Hey. Question 4. Dr. Will Raven is the creation of Ambrose Perry. True or false?
Ooh, now I don't know this one. I'm going to go false.
No, it's true.
It's true.
Yes.
Oh, darn.
Academic philosopher and amateur detective Isabel Dalhousie is the creation of Agatha Christie. True or false?
Don't remember that name with Agatha Christie, so I'm going to go false.
It is false. It's the creation of Alexander McCall Smith.
Ah, yes. Alexander McCall Smith was one of my lecturers when I was at university. I think we must all have been too much for him because he gave up and went into writing. He's probably a much better writer than he was a lecturer.
I remember when I was taking my degree, English studies, I didn't realise until I actually got there that actually there was the only university in the whole country that had crime fiction as a subject in the last year. I'm like, ooh, that was lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this next question is, again, true or false, but it's not necessarily, well, the author's Scottish, so it's not necessarily a Scottish detective, but I thought it's quite an interesting bit of trivia if it's true or false. So, a long-lost story rediscovered in 2015 entitled Sherlock Holmes Discovering the Borderbergs and by deduction the Brig Bazaar, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and published in 1904, was the only Sherlock Holmes story known to be set in Scotland. True or false?
Well, that's an interesting one. I'll go true.
It is true.
Yeah.
It was published in 1904 to raise money for a bridge in Selkirk. And it's arguably the only Sherlock Holmes story known to be set. A man found it in his attic, apparently.
Wow. That's a find, lucky guy.
So yeah, apparently it's part of a little pamphlet that he contributed to raise money for the bridge. So yeah, now you know.
Yeah.
So next question. Maureen O'Donnell is the creation of Colin Dexter. True or false?
I don't remember her in relation to Colin Dexter, so I'm going to go false.
It is false. She is the creation of Denise Mina. Colin Dexter wrote the Inspector Morse books.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So last question. Jack Laidlaw is the creation of Bernard Cornwall. True or false?
Again, I don't know this one, but I'm not familiar. I'm not hugely. Of course, Bernard Cornwall has written so many books. I'm going to go false.
It is false. He's the creation of William I'm never going to pronounce it properly. McIlvenney, but William McIlvenney.
Yes, McIlvenney. Yes,
McIlvenney. Yeah, so I was going to butcher that name.
Yeah.
So with your bonus point, you did get 8. So
wow.
Well done.
Do I get a certificate?
No, but you do get bragging rights.
Well, there you go. That's all I need.
So this next question is one I ask everybody who comes on to In Conversation with, and it's always fascinating to hear what people's answers are. So, if you could have coffee with 3 people, famous or unknown, living or deceased, who would you pick? Why would you pick them? And what would you talk about?
This is a really good question. It actually depends on my mood.
Okay.
But I'm in a really good mood today. So I think I would choose Agatha Christie, Winston Churchill,
Interesting.
and probably, who would my third one be? Nelson Mandela.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think we would talk about the state of the nation.
Okay, quite a heavy conversation.
Because I think all 3 of them would have a great deal to say about what was going on.
Yeah. Is that particularly why you'd pick all three of those individually, because of their political views, or because you think it's
not necessarily their political views, but I think they would each have a different viewpoint on a lot of things that were going on right now. And I think they would each not be shy in putting their views forward.
Yeah. So you've been a fan of Agatha Christie for quite a while then, have you? Or
I think, as with many crime writers, Agatha Christie is how I began reading crime fiction.
Yeah.
I think because her books are relatively short.
Yeah.
and the plots are quite compact.
Yeah.
She's a good starting point for most people.
Yes.
And everybody's mother has a collection of Agatha Christie books on the shelf.
Yeah.
So yes, I I've been a fan and a reader of Agatha Christie for as long as I can remember, certainly since before I was a teenager.
Yeah. I used to collect, the magazines with the books in. I did have a whole collection of Agatha Christie. Um,
Mm,
but I went for a phase of like watching sort of adaptation of some of her books and then reading the book. So like Five Little Pigs and Sleeping Murder. It's interesting actually watching that some of those adaptations and then reading the book, see how they've changed it.
yes,
I do
yes,
like doing that. And obviously, well, I've Christie would have been around, well, she was around when Winston Churchill was around as well. So that's quite interesting. But it's quite interesting to think of them two then meeting Nelson Mandela.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah. So I would find this question. It's always interesting. It's not just about the individual people. It's about how you think that they would all get along and how they discuss
yes,
things. And
absolutely.
yeah, I was
Yes.
interested. I interviewed a retired Bow Street police officer, and he was actually on duty at Winston Churchill's funeral.
Wow. I bet
Yeah,
that was a big one.
yeah, yeah. He was really interested to talk to actually. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I've always loved Agatha Christie. I remember my mum got us into watching crime dramas, and that was obviously David C.J. Poirot, Deer and Pascoe, sorry, Taggart, all of those growing up, and yeah, I really enjoyed reading Agatha Christie, and so that's how I sort of started doing crime fiction. Like I say, do sort of based upon that clue puzzle, sort of golden age detective fiction type
absolutely.
framework. Yeah,
Yes.
because I love the idea
Yes.
of a story being a puzzle that people can work out.
Absolutely. Yes. And your books are beautifully drawn as well.
Oh, thank
The
you.
the characters are lovely creations. They're so clever.
Oh, everybody says that they like the characters, yeah. So they keep
Mm,
saying to me, "Don't
yeah.
kill off so and so."
Yeah.
I mean, do you get that with people who get into your series that they say to you, "Oh, don't kill off so and so," or "Oh, that's my favourite character." Oh, I hope they last the course.
That's right. I have some friends who are deeply in love with Hunter Wilson, but others of them much prefer Tim Myerscough. So
Yeah, but see, I like the fact that Hunter Wilson isn't like this. He's very sort of not sort of, yeah, but he's very sort of grounded and very sort of like relatable. And he's not like some Jim Bunny, and he's just a regular guy who's got, like I say, his
yes,
history and his
yes,
problems, and who fancies the woman at the morgue, and it's.
absolutely. Yes.
I do love as well
Yes.
the fact that he keeps taking different people to the morgue. It's like, oh, you won't want to have your lunch before you go there, and it's and back to the ranch. He's got his own little catchphrases and things, hasn't he?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. So I will definitely be reading the next one in that season. We'll be yeah, your books are on my ever growing to be read pile. But
Oh, yes,
definitely,
we all have a very large TBR pile, don't
yeah.
we?
So we've talked about obviously crime fiction and how we love, sort of really sort of embrace that genre. But if you
Mm.
were to ever consider writing a different genre, is there one that particularly catches your eye that you think you would quite like to try, or do you think you always write crime fiction?
I have always written crime fiction, but what I think I would might like to try is some romance,
Yeah.
probably going from one extreme to the other. But I think that might be quite fun.
Yeah. I do think that I think with crime fiction, I think some people write off romance as being a non-genre. But I think, like crime fiction, romance can be very difficult to write well. I think it's getting that balance and
Yes,
curating the story and the characters. And obviously, like with crime fiction, you've got subgenres within romance itself as well. And I think romance done well, I think, can be very sort of just as impactful as crime fiction.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So, do
Yeah.
you
And
read any romance at all? Do you have any
I
romance
read
books?
Sue Moorcroft and I
Yeah.
like Beth O'Leary.
Yeah.
And another romance author I like a lot is Lizzie Chantry.
Yeah.
And so I think it's nice whatever you're reading, mix it up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being stuck in one genre is a bit um, perhaps a bit predictable.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if you can, like I say, because I'm reading a book at the moment, it's very much more of a thriller than an actual crime fiction book. So you do get those. At the same time, I'm also reading Beck Stout, which is very much sort of cerebral and, Agatha Christie type-esque. So it's, so you can explore quite different things in the genre, but say if you can, you can try other genres as well. It does expand your mind, but also it sort of expands your sort of knowledge as a writer as well, and so you can pick up hints and tips from other writers, different genres, of how to do particular scenarios, like the romance stories, the romance plot lines for characters.
Yeah.
And so, have you got any particular reads that you've read recently that stood out for you that you would recommend to people, crime fiction or otherwise? Or
one I read recently was an autobiography by Trevor Noah.
Okay.
And the title of the book is Born a Crime. And that's because Trevor was born in apartheid South Africa,
right,
when it was illegal for the races to mix.
Okay.
Which to us just sounds crazy, but that was the case. And his father was a white Swiss man who had no interest in this law whatsoever. And his mother was a black South African woman who clearly had no interest in the law, because they got together and Trevor was the result. But he writes this autobiography with such humor and without any trace of self-pity. Where, he and his mother had to walk on one side of the road and his father on the other side of the street because they couldn't be seen together. And when you think about it, that's heartbreaking. But he does it in such a witty and light way that it's a very, very clever read, and definitely one about that period in time that's well worth a look.
Well, we've come to the end of our chat already. It's gone really, really quickly. Thank you so much for chatting to me today. So do you want to remind everybody,
to see you.
And do you to remind everybody where we can buy your books, and also where they can follow you on social media? Have you got a website?
You'll always find me on Facebook. I'm also I'm imaginatively Val Penny. But you'll also find me on Instagram and Blue Sky, and my website is, again, imaginatively, www.valpenny.com. You'll find the books on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Waterstones, all over the place, and I hope your viewers enjoy it.
Yep, you've also got a Facebook group as well, haven't you? Val's Book Bundle.
The Book Bundle, yes. Readers and writers are welcome to join.
And they can chat directly with you, obviously, through that as well, through the group.
Absolutely, yes indeed. And you, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I regularly you probably regularly pops on my feed, so I regularly comment,
That's it.
Well, thank you so much, and it's great talking to you today.
Thank you very much.